Welcome to part 6 of Per Lie I Try to Believe. Even though part 3 was really short because someone was able to interrupt me while I was recording, so I had to cut it short. Well, not really interrupt, but someone enter through my room. So I was like, nah, I'll continue it later. So where we last left off, yeah, just shenanigans, really. I'm not gonna make a little recurring thoughts. Anyway, the next day I felt disgusted with myself, not because I was hungover, mind you, no. The moment my eyes opened, I knew. I knew I had done something wrong. I didn't remember much, probably because I had been completely hammered the day before, but I knew nevertheless. Why did I always act so childishly? Even if she did want to see other men, who was I trying to stop her? I knew all along, right, that she's a prostitute. She slept with men before me and will after me. Yet I am always so. Jealousy is a byproduct of love, or so they say. I should apologize. If I apologize and explain all those irrational thoughts that I have been having to her, then maybe I can salvage a bit of this relationship, or whatever we call this. It was only when I laid my eyes on her that I understood that I went too far. She was preparing breakfast. She wasn't the cooking type, obviously, so what she was making was pretty straightforward. But when she started. Excuse me. But when she turned around to ask me if I wanted eggs with my toast, I noticed. Was I. Was I the one who did this to you? At my words, she brushed her forehead unconsciously before averting her eyes melancholically. No, baby, that wasn't you. I remember pushing her yesterday, but was it really that strongly? On her forehead there was a nasty dark purple bruise. Also, I noticed she had difficulty walking, even though she was trying so hard to hide it. Then I remembered those voices inside of me. They had been pushing me since the very beginning, almost begging me to destroy her. I had gone too far. I realized it now. I saw that everything I had ever done was so I could walk the path of destruction. We can't go on like this anymore. If this goes on for even one night longer, I might really kill her. Even though I had brought her here to protect her, I just now realized that I was the one she should have been protected from. I need to end this. Maybe if I act quickly enough, it wouldn't be too late. Where's your phone? My phone? Why would you need my phone? I need your phone. Now! I don't have it with me. It must be with the things we brought to the motel yesterday. Then I'll go get it. Wait, we can do that later, right? The breakfast. No, right now. Might not have the courage if I wait any longer. I try to reach for my keys on the coffee table, but she suddenly jumps on me and embraces me tightly. This is so surprising that I stumble on the bed without any means to fight back. She falls on top of me. She proceeds to kiss every inch of my face without end, every time saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. I need to go, but she doesn't stop. I love you, I love you, I love you. This situation won't get us anywhere. I can't show affection, not now of all times. I get to my feet carefully, making sure I don't hurt her in the process. While she's still hanging on to me strongly, I lift her up as I would in a piggyback ride. But instead of riding on my back, she's hanging on me from the front. Her face is buried in my chest, and I can feel my shirt gradually getting drenched with her tears. I have her ass in my hands in order to support her, and I'm actually kinda enjoying the situation right now, since I very much love her ass. Good lord. I walk all the way to the car, leaving behind the breakfast she just made for us. The moment I try to place her into the car, she refuses to let go of me, but everything has to end, doesn't it? The ride to the motel is a silent one. She just looks at the sky through her window, completely devoid of expression. What is happening to her? Is there something she doesn't want me to see at the motel? Not that I mind, really. She can do whatever she wants. I can no longer try to control her. I can no longer. We get out of the car, and surprisingly, she is the one who leads the way. She unlocks the door and opens it for me. As soon as we enter the room, I make a beeline for our bags. I take both our phones before walking back to her. Sorry, I need to do this alone. Wait for me here, will you? She doesn't answer. She looks at me with those eyes that I have almost forgotten about. Her darkness meets mine. I try to ignore her by walking right past her, but she won't let me. Move. Say, do you love me? She has finally asked. That question I didn't want to think about. I knew it would come one day, but there's no way I could ever be prepared for it. I don't have time for this. Answer me. Do you love me? I said move! I lift my hand mechanically, and she doesn't cower. She doesn't blink. She doesn't fear me at all. It doesn't work. Well, sure, it doesn't. It doesn't because I would never actually hit her. Do you love me? I don't have a choice, do I? Yes, I do. A dark smile. Enough to throw your life away from me? Yes. I say so with complete certainty. I see. Her smile fades away as if it was never there to begin with. I try to walk away, but she blurts out something unexpected the minute I reveal my intention to move. Let's go back to our hotel room. Let me have one last night, then you can do whatever you want. Sorry, but I can't. What I'm about to do is because I love you, Cassandra. She bites her lip in frustration before turning her eyes back to me. She tried, for that. She tried to smile, but couldn't, which created this somehow empathetic look that she now has on her face. You said it. You finally said it. My full name. Ah, had I never called her by her full name? Wait, what? Full name? Huh. The full. But how is a full name when it's just the first name, though? Full name. Had I never called her by her full name before? I. I try to force something out of my mouth. Anything. But she shakes her head as she sees the complexity of thoughts on my face. And then she opens the door behind her dejectedly. Hmm. I walk past her, coldly. If only she knew how much I love her. How much I would literally kill for it, and that's exactly why I must do this. As I'm about to take a step outside, she suddenly asks something of me. Tim, could you buy me some tampon while you're out? What? Shocked by her overly jovial tone, I turn around just to find out that she's peering back at me with her usual cheerful smile. Please? I kinda need it, you know. Can't be helped, I guess. I run my hands through my hair before walking away for good this time. What's up with her? 13th chapter. Puzzling call. Oh, there's a pause button. Well, I need to get something to drink, so hold on. Alright, I'm back. See, I didn't know when I updated like the OBS application that has like a pause feature. I'm pretty sure last time like was it a year ago or so? I don't know, but it didn't have like a pause button or like a hotkey for it. I could be wrong. Like, I could be like really retarded. But let's continue. The thought of taking the car was tempting after she had made her sudden request, but I quickly remembered that I needed to find a payphone. Since a car would be more of a hindrance to my search, I decided to walk instead. I took care of her business first, although I wasn't sure which brand she used. Then came the search for a payphone for obvious reasons. I didn't want to call directly from her phone, or even mine. If came to worst, I at least wanted to have some options left, at least. In our current situation, it would have been pure suicide to give away our only advantages. But man, it's got harder and harder to find a payphone these days. Still, I found one in the end, but it took me a lot longer than I first anticipated. I browsed her phone's contact list, desperately searching for a name that had somehow eluded me. I was sure I'd remember it the moment I saw it, though. Ah, there it is. Fanny, her roommate. She should know the number of Cassandra's boss, or maybe, if we're lucky, she hasn't told him about Cass's disappearance yet. I know there's no possible ways for Cass to get back in time for her next shift tomorrow, but if I can be persuasive enough, then just maybe. Maybe I can convince her boss that I can shoulder her debts. After all, even though we did try to escape, the only thing this man really wants is money. I just need to know how much. Hello? After 3 rings, she answered. Hi, is this Fanny, Cassandra's roommate? Yeah, it's me. Who's speaking? Huh? Oh, I'm John, one of her, clients. Her client? Didn't know she was selling things. No, well, would you mind giving me the number of her boss? There's something really important I need to speak to him about. Her boss? Who's that? Sorry, but she's not here right now. She told me she was going on a trip to Vegas alone. Can you believe it? She could at least have invited me. Not that I have the time, but come on. She's so not as considerate, right? Anyway, you would have a better chance by calling her directly. Bye now. Wait a minute. She told you she was going on a trip alone? Just when? When? I don't know. She sent me a text on Friday night, I think, saying she was going somewhere, and then another one the day right after, or something like that. I'm not so sure. Friday night. It was the night when we first eloped. To think she was able to send a text while sitting right next to me, and without my noticing. Not that it is possible, but still. Anyway, if that's everything, I have other things to do, so. Wait, I need to know one last thing. Because the way she talks about it almost seemed like. Damn, what a fast chapter. Chapter 14. Her lie I tried to believe. Her lie? Hey, it's just like the title of the game. Why am I getting the feeling this is the very last chapter? I'm hoping so. I want to be done with this reading. I don't know why or when, but I started to run. I ran frantically to the hotel room. Motel room. God damn it. I had this ominous feeling boiling down in the depth of my gut that I just couldn't ignore. Why did she lie to me? And how? In answer to my question, her roommate, she answered, What the fuck? A prostitute? Is this supposed to be some kind of a sick joke or something? Sorry, I don't know who you are, but Cass isn't that type of girl, okay? Neither you nor anyone else could make me think otherwise. Now, if you excuse me, Cassandra isn't a prostitute, but that can't be true. I've seen her working. She's never denied it. Why would she try to make me believe something like that? I need to speak to her now. But how can I even confront her with everything I've done to her? Why would she lie to me? I feel anger welling up inside of me. I know I'll ignore her until she can't take anymore, and when she's about to cry her heart out from loneliness, I'll force her to tell me everything. That's the best way to make her suffer without hurting her. She's so dependent on me, she won't be able to bear it for long. Soon enough, she will tell me everything, and then she'll ask me to forgive her. With this seductive way with which she always uses to ask me everything, those eyes, that smile, her lips, her everything. I'll accept, of course. Then she will feel indebted to me. That's when I'll ask her. That's when I'll ask her to. Why did I try to push her away from me? I don't understand anything anymore. Why did she lie to me? Why am I this way? Why am I scared? At last, I'm in front of that door. I'm just about to open it when I notice something strange. A bag. A plastic bag is wrapped tightly around the door handle. I almost rip it off, but then I stop midway. I feel there's a reason why it's here. Also, it's not like I have any time to deal with something so annoying. I open the door, leaving the bag on the handle intact. My eyes drop to the ground. I need to ignore her. I need to ignore her. I walk extremely slowly, almost reluctantly, to the middle of the room. For some reason, I start shaking uncontrollably. That's when I notice something peculiar lying on the table. I focus on it instinctively. What? It has started raining. There must have been holes in the motel's shitty roof since since it has suddenly started leaking onto the table. I'm sorry. I almost hear her, but I don't want to hear her. This is fake. I lied to you. A noise. an annoying noise, as if someone is slowly opening and closing a badly oiled door over and over again. But I did love you. I see her move from the corner of my eyes, but I don't want to see her. I must ignore her. I loved that boy who in third grade had difficulty running as fast as the other. I loved the courageous little boy who in front of the whole class declared that he would one day run faster than every one of them. I wanted to encourage that boy, but it seems the method I used to encourage him only rubbed him the wrong way. Soon, he became cold to my words and even to my stares. I realized that the only way to be accepted by that boy was to look at him in the same fashion he looked at me. So soon enough, I learned to hate him as much as he hated me, even though I loved him. So I gave my everything. I wanted to answer the boy's feeling with my own. Soon he became my whole world. I existed solely to beat him. I existed solely to take things away from him. And for a time, it worked. But I was noticing it. I was noticing the fact that he was creeping closer and closer to me. Obviously, taking things away from someone means you also accept things to be taken away from you. Less than a year after we graduated elementary school, he was beating me at running. Even though I ran every night, even though I spent most of my weekends practicing, he beat me as if it was nothing. It was extremely frustrating. I was supposed to be happy about it, wasn't I? I mean, wasn't exactly what I wanted for him, but he became popular, the ace of the basketball team. He was so special. I'm sure he didn't notice it himself. I was so jealous. But at least I still had something. He was only good at sports, whereas I was good at studies. I was good at my studies as well. Surely he wouldn't be able to take this away from me. But then he quit basketball. Why? I loved him. I loved watching him play so much. Then I realized he was coming for that too. He was coming to take this away from me too. But if he takes it away from me, for what reason will he keep on looking at me the way he's been doing all this time? There is none. The moment he takes this away, I'll have nothing left to show for myself. This thing that we have together, this rivalry, will no longer exist. I did everything I could. After all, I existed solely to beat him, and that's exactly what I was trying to do, but there's no way I could actually win. If he set himself to do something, he will surely succeed, without a shadow of a doubt. I foresaw my loss long before it arrived, so before it happened, I tried to shake him off a little. We were in high school by then, and lots of boys declared their love to me. I decided to accept one of them, although I had no interest in him. I wanted to see if it would at least affect the boy. That boy. Because if it did, it would mean that I still had something. But it didn't. At first, I thought it had worked, but when he approached me, it was for something completely unrelated. It was because he had beaten me in the midterms. He probably didn't want to accept it, but he did win. And at that point, I had fully given up. He didn't even see me as a woman. He saw me as a wall to scale, so I did the only thing left for me to do. I quit school before the next exam week to make sure he never takes this rivalry completely away from me before he could climb the wall, so to speak. You see, I didn't lie about the fact that my father had a lot of money, but I did lie about the fact that he lost it all. So, not going to school anymore wasn't such a big deal for me. I could become whatever I wanted, but I didn't want to become anything. I kept on observing the boy from far. He graduated and started college. If I hadn't given up, I would have been right next to him, but obviously I wasn't. I'd given up in order to fulfill the purpose of my existence, and that purpose it was still not achieved yet, because I existed solely to take things away from him. It was fairly easy to approach his friend. The moment I explained my wanting to meet with him again, he accepted quite readily. The night went exactly as I had planned. Soon enough, I was alone with the boy. He had those same eyes he always did. He always had sad eyes. I tried my best to appeal to him. I looked at him mischievously, touching him whenever I could. I even tripped up for that very purpose. As expected, he finally reacted to it. He was a man after all. I almost had him. Almost. But he refused to be still. I had no idea why. Was I not to his liking? Excuse me. Was I not to his liking? Maybe it was because he still hated me. Maybe it was because I looked too pure. Maybe I still didn't look like a woman. For the next 2 years, I tried to approach him coincidentally, multiple times, but every time he ran away or simply ignored me. Even if I changed the way I dressed or the way I walked, he never even looked at me. I was nothing in his eyes. I almost gave up, but then I noticed that sometimes he went out of his way to go to a certain bar to meet with one of his clients, a hostess bar. Instantly, the idea came to mind. Why not? I knew that he sometimes came on a Thursdays, so as long as I was able to work on that day, I would eventually meet him, and he would no longer be held back by his guilty conscience. Seeing as I'm a hostess of all things, with enough peel, he would surely give in. I wanted him to look at me as a woman. I wanted him to want me. I wanted him to suffer like he had made me. So I started working at the bar, but only on Thursdays, waiting for his inevitable appearance. And, contrary to some belief, I could choose if I wanted to lay with the client or not. On the third week, he finally came. I noticed him right away, sure enough. I made sure I served him. I played with my hair, teased him, and smiled brightly whenever I could. Finally, he cracked, and after that night, I had him. From then on, it was a piece of cake. He was so gentle, too gentle. That was his downfall. I created a story to go along with the fact that I was a prostitute so as to stir up compassion in him. And on our seventh meeting, I even beat myself up to make him react irrationally. That's right, since the very beginning, it was all my fault. I manipulated him, played with him, and planned the whole ordeal. I'm so disgusting. Then he brought me to Las Vegas. Every time he disappeared for even a minute or two, I would start up a conversation with complete strangers. All of this was to make him jealous. It worked, for the most part. Then yesterday, I even dropped a business card on the floor. A fake business card. And he was really pissed. He shouted at me before drinking himself to sleep. And while he slept, I hit my head on one of the walls just so that he would think he's done it himself. Just a minute ago, he said it to me. He said that he loved me. I made him love me. A gentle boy, and I exist solely to take things away from him. How horrible I am. May he wish we never crossed paths in this world. I took away his job, took away his girlfriend, and almost took away his life. Now, let me even take away his love. I crushed a piece of paper in my hand. Anger like I've never felt before rises up inside of me. The rain has now become frantic. I can no longer control it. I look at her. She's moving ever so slightly. But this movement is out of her control. It's the fault of this damned cord. This damned cord that is tied around her neck. Holy shit. Oh my god. She... Don't fucking tell me. Around her. There are so many things I need to tell her. So many. Yet only one single thing comes out of my mouth. You stupid liar. Stupid liar. She fucking hung herself. And... Oh, what the fuck? Then I recorded all these fucking parts just for this shit. You know what? This visual novel is is recommended just to read it the whole thing just once. I mean, the art style is okay-ish. But Jesus Christ. Well, Tim got cucked before, and as a way to sacrifice herself. Her lie I try to believe. Well then. I mean, it's not a bad visual novel, but it's not good. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the whole entire thing. I'm definitely going to uninstall it and gonna render the parts to MP4. God. Um, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.